Okay, time for the Cata Verdera member tip for this month. Heat is winding down, so we're getting ready for fall. And I thought would be a really good time to talk about whenever you practice, not necessarily in regards to technique, all of us are here to help you guys with that, but more so how you should break up your practice. So let's keep the math really easy. Let's say you were going to go out and you had an hour and you were going to today hit balls. By the way, make sure you're doing everything, right? You got to cover putting, chipping, pitching, bunker play, all these other things. There's way more to it than that if you guys want to bite that off. Fitness, nutrition, hydration, perfect equipment, mental performance, all these other things. But let's just break it down to if you had an hour and you were going to hit balls, and let's keep it really simple. Okay, number one, do not just show up and start hitting. You should do some kind of a light dynamic warm-up and stretching before you do anything physical. I'm talking if you're a 15-year-old kid. So a brisk walk, obviously, some stretching and things like that, get some mobility stuff going. Again, hold stretches for a little bit of discomfort, right? Take a deep breath, exhale so you get some tension out of your muscles, and that gives you more range of motion. And, maybe swing a heavy object, like a club, and then maybe swing a light object like an alignment stick, right, to get some speed going. So do some kind of a 10 or 15 minute dynamic warm-up. Don't just show up and start whacking balls. That's how you're going to get hurt. So I think that's really important, something that's often overlooked. Okay, next, I'm going to try and make this brief. Some kind of a system check on grip, or hold as I like to call it, posture, right? Am I standing like an athlete? Ball position, where's the club orientated in my feet? And depending on your swing philosophy, those things might be slightly different from individual for individual. I certainly know what I like. That doesn't mean everyone's going to teach those same principles, but make sure you have some blueprint or benchmark of what that is within your own system, right? So you're going to do a little bit of a grip check, face on the ground or face to the letter Y, as I like to call it, posture, ball position, things like that. Okay, now everyone should have 2 to 3 technique drills that they do almost every time they practice that keep their swing where they want it, right? So, for me, I might step in and first just start doing some little like waist high, Y to Y at the target, right? Hit my little pile of balls down there, make sure my letter Y is in the middle of my chest and there's no angles as I move it back and forth. Make sure I'm directing energy at the blue flag way out there in the distance down the sticks. And make sure my start line of balls is, a couple feet. 2 for me, I would probably do some of the tour striker ball between my arms. And again, I'm walking you guys through what I would do. This is stuff you got to sort out with whoever's coaching you. So, I'd maybe get that ball between my arms. I'd still probably hit a few of these half ones, and then I'd probably work my way up into some pretty full swings, feeling that. After that, for me, probably some stop at the tops. Maybe do like a half stop, check my takeaway. Mine gets too in and open, so I always exaggerate a little more out in front of me and closed. At the top, my elbow more in front of me. Mine tends to get a little behind me. So I'd maybe walk in, do one real quick, and do a few of those where you just said, hey, waist high, stop, 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 go ahead and swing. Right, and I'd maybe do a few of those, right? Just to kind of rehearse my balance points or plane positions that I like. And then my third one for me would probably be my squeeze board, right? Where I put the board between my feet, I'd light squeeze it. The in and down pressure in your feet, just like the ice skater pulling closer to them as they spin, will actually make you rotate cleaner and more efficiently. So I'd put my squeeze board between my feet, feel light pressure on my legs. And again, these are all things that I like to teach. Come see me for a lesson if you guys want to know a little bit more about that stuff. I'm trying to just kind of give you a brief how I would practice. Neighborhood of 10 to 30 reps of each of those, and then technique is over for the day, right? You put it behind you and you move on, and you start gravitating more towards to performance. Next step, I would probably in my sticks here with no drill, trying to make some swings. What kind of ball flight am I seeing, stuff like that. I like to see a small draw when I hit, for me, for my stock shot. So, I might hit a couple with my stack feel, and just try and do, hey, letter Y to the target, and just hit some, right? And just kind of see what my outcomes were, right? Maybe I'd mix in some fades too, just to make sure I'm proficient at that, so for when I need it. And I'd keep the sticks down, right? Still a controlled environment with forcing me towards my target, give me some accountability. And then last, I would take these away and I would start practicing my routine. And what I mean by that is, instead of aiming down the sticks, let's get rid of them. Now I do random full routine stuff to different targets, right? So I'd walk through my routine. If I wanted to hit a small draw, what would that feel like? Do a rehearsal swing. Walk back here. Walk in and aim. Do my little practice waggle, make my swing. And just kind of soak some shots in, right? That one, pretty good, little on the toe, tiny push. You know, go back through, maybe rehearse what I wish I would have done afterwards and more simulate golf. So if I had an hour, long term, I'd want to do 60-40 performance-based or go play. This fall, if you're working on something with your teacher and maybe you want to focus a little bit more on technique, you could skew those numbers the other way a little bit. But always make sure you don't just hit, right? Hit towards things, have accountability, have a blueprint you're following, have a plan, and simulate playing the sport. I think those are really the things you want to make sure you do. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, so I hope that's helpful. Please get in touch with me or anybody on the staff who teaches you guys, to help you guys develop a plan for the fall. So when spring comes around, your game is ready to go. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys at the course and hope you had a great month.